Hello, gorgeous heartbeat, and welcome to Heartbeats Harbor. I'm your host, Brianna Hozak, and I'm here to shine the light on the shadow path we walk as heartbeat women. Women rising into leadership roles as lightworkers, changemakers, worldshakers, or as I call us, heartbeats, do not have an easy path to walk. It often feels lonely, painful, and unique, but I'm here to help you see how very not alone you are, and how beautiful the shadows surrounding you actually are when you love and integrate them on your healing journey. I create spaces and opportunities for women to step into deeper self-awareness, self-acceptance, and personal healing, community and sacred circles, as well as leadership of themselves, their families, their communities, and beyond. My business and my life is and always will be about massive change in the ways things are done around the world. I believe it's a big part of my purpose on this planet to be a voice for those who don't have one, a safe harbor for those who need one, and a beacon of light to inspire a better way. None of this is easy. I've learned that big impact requires bold action and delusional levels of confidence, as well as a ton of shadow work. If you love what you hear on this podcast and you want to be part of the growing, supportive online village of Heartbeats Harbor, make sure you join my Facebook group, which is linked below in the show notes. Now, I can't wait to get started, so let's turn on the lights. Hey, Heartbeats! Welcome back! Hope everyone is enjoying the transition of the seasons as we come closer and closer to the winter solstice. I used to resist that change and dislike it, very much in fact. I've literally said the words, I don't even like the shade in the summer, and cloudy days suck, and I don't like winter. Someone said winter was beautiful once, and I said, no, it's cold and dark and has no color. Seasonal depressive disorder is definitely common where I'm from because of the lack of sunlight. More recently, though, as I've been rediscovering my true self more and more through that lovely shadow work we talked about in the last episode, I've realized that that wasn't me talking. That was my conditioning. And it's actually really funny because as I've integrated those parts of my true self, I've started to love things I used to not be able to stand, like the cold. My body has actually warmed up to the point where extreme heat, which I used to love, is kind of tough to take, and where the cold feels like a relief. Of course, that has limits. It gets way too cold here, and while I like to cool off now, I don't love being cold, per se. I've started to see the colors in winter again, because of course there are colors. They're just different, less vivid. I love vivid colors, but I've started to recall my appreciation for the more muted tones as well. As much as I always loved the rich colors of autumn, I also dreaded them because it meant winter was coming. And here, winter is like 8 months long. What I didn't understand, though, is that just like energy and hormone cycles in a month for a woman, which are very much coordinated with seasonal energies, and just like the cycles of the moon, there are also energetic cycles for the entire planet, and those are the seasons of the wheel of the year. When I began to embrace my energetic cycles, I started to see the value in the winter months finally again. When I released the need to constantly perform and be productive, and opened up to the value there is in rest, I finally understood. If you know anything about manifestation, you likely have heard about manifesting with the moon. This is where, when the moon is full and bursting with light, we release what no longer serves us, as we've accumulated so much since the last release. We tend to be more tired, and in hermit mode around the full moon also. This represents winter. Winter is a time of rest, of staying home more and perhaps cleaning things out indoors, of unburdening so that we are ready for action and growth again in the spring. Then, as the moon begins to wane and we experience the last quarter moon, everything is germinating, planning is happening, seeds are being planted for what we want to harvest, our energy begins to rise, and we begin to move and go out more frequently. This is exactly like the spring. When the moon is new and dark, which I find infinitely amusing considering I associate summer with light, is when we're calling in all our desires, receiving our manifestations, and enjoying the fruits of our labors with the beginning harvests. This phase correlates perfectly with the summer. We're so vital and alive, just like those vivid, sunlit colors I so love. We are filled with joy, more rested, and bursting with energy. And finally, the moon begins waxing again as our harvests come in, and we prepare our stores for the winter to come. We gather our manifestations, celebrate them, feel the gratitude of our blessings, hello, Thanksgiving being in the fall, and we begin slowly
to release the frantic, wild energy of summer as transformation begins and autumn comes to play. Without the autumn, shedding the old, decay turning leaves and crops into fertilizer, etc., and then the resting period of winter, our springs would not be so enlivening, so fresh and ready to bring in new life. Without the cooler temperatures of spring and the rainy seasons, there would be no harvest. All of this made me question, well, which season is the right one for healing? Which one should I take off to rest? How do I work on healing things in the summer when my energy is high and the entire world is dancing with joy? How do I heal in the spring when I should plan and plant? Healing can't only be done in the winter, in the sleepy season. Of course not. That's out of balance. And I finally realized sleep and rest and hibernation are healing. Of course, those are obvious. Winter is obvious. But planting seeds, making decisions and plans, that is healing too. Making decisions helps us to let go of what no longer serves us, and that is very healing. So spring makes sense. Play and laughter, those are some of the best healers of all, almost more so than sleep and rest. They're what makes us feel, what allows us to truly live this beautiful life we're living. So of course the summer is a healing time also. And the trees letting go of their leaves is so representative of us letting go of things that are no longer meant for us, that are not serving our growth, things we've grown out of. The autumn is clearing the way for our healed selves to come in, and that is healing too. The answer to my question of how and when to make the space and time for healing was always. In every season, there are different ways to heal. In different weeks of the month, there are different ways to heal. In different seasons of our life also, from child, spring, to young adult, summer, to mature adult, autumn, to elder, winter. There are different lessons, different healing, different growth. What helps us to not burn out from what seems to be constant healing is the fact that we're changing up how we heal at different times. My good friend and fellow coach, Caitlin, taught me all about the hormone cycles and how they affect my energy at different times of the month. Adjusting how I did things at different times of the month made a massive difference in my life. She's by far the expert, but this looks like rest during menstruation. This is winter, nighttime, the elder years, the full moon. Planning, exploring possibilities during the follicular phase. This is spring, morning time, the child phase, the waning moon. Action during the ovulatory phase. This is summer, afternoon, young adulthood, the new moon. Completing tasks, wrapping up projects during the luteal phase. This is autumn. Evening time, mature adulthood, and the waxing moon. The hormone cycle is what eventually led me to all the other cycles. Everything comes in seasons and cycles, and instead of being frustrated by the downtimes, by the rest periods, and feeling unproductive, now I get to lean into the right method of healing at the right time during a cycle. How powerful is that? Let me tell you, it has been a total game changer. I find it amusing that as I phase out of young adult into mature adult ages, I've discovered that my human design-led branding is autumn and secondary winter color-based. As I have learned to flow with these cycles, everything has come into more clear and perfect alignment than ever before in all the aspects of my life. What power in this knowledge! If I had only known it from the beginning, I sometimes think. But then, if we started out in alignment, what would be the point of this life? No, learning it in the spring of our lives, experiencing it in the summer, integrating it in the fall, and then finally just resting in it. That is perfect. If we allow it, the space and time for healing is already built into our lives. I'm so grateful to have done and always be doing the work that removes societal, patriarchal, corporate, and colonial constructs from my life and allows me to live a natural, beautiful life in the flow of natural cycles. I hope that this episode has helped you in some way as well, either to entice you to begin this journey, to encourage you partway through it, or even to confirm you're not alone if you're maybe even farther along it than I am. I believe that we, humanity, are shifting back into this natural, sacred feminine flow, very, very gradually. The more people who learn to live within the energetic cycles of nature, the more peaceful, harmonious, and unified I believe this world will be. And that is a very good thing. I'm sending you all my love. I look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you subscribe to be notified of new episodes. If you really love it here and want to help spread the light, please take a moment to rate the show and leave a review. They help so much. If you love listening and want to be part of the interactive and incredible online community we're growing, make sure you click the link in the description box and join the Facebook group. I promise you it is not like other groups you've been in. Hope to meet you there soon, and I'll be talking to you next week, sending you all my love from my heartbeat to yours.